I always wondered if the shoe was on the other foot and black people were offending white people on a football pitch, would these problems take as long to solve as they are now? I mean, we've had like a 25 to 30 year stumbling block in terms of solving racism in football. Now, I'm hearing so many counter arguments about, yeah, racism is in society, you know, Brexit, all the rest of it, but come on, let's try and sort out football, because football plays a massive role in this country. I mean, look only to last year how deep and involved the whole of the UK were in watching England get to the semi-final of the World Cup. That's how engaged football is within the UK. So again, if we sort out football, maybe that might sort out society and vice versa, but let's try and sort out football first. Now, there's certain things in place that haven't been used yet or even addressed in order to make that happen. And the reasons why? A, because people are scared, and B, the major thing is because they'll lose too much money. Now, the people at the top, the FAs, UEFA's, all of those governing bodies, you name it, they're mainly majority run by white people. Now, I'm not trying to be racist here, but if you haven't suffered racism or you're not suffering it on a regular basis, you're not going to know what it's like every single time you go onto a football pitch. You might hear that racist chant, you might hear that monkey noise, you might see a banana thrown on the pitch. You're not going to feel it. You might say that you're sorry. I appreciate your apologies and I appreciate your understanding, but you're not going to understand what it's like when you're walking onto a pitch or in the stands and you're hearing this towards a player that's the same skin colour as you. Because bear this in mind, people, it's not just Sterling getting this abuse, but we all suffer when Sterling gets that abuse, because I look up to him, people younger than me look up to him, there's people before him that have been getting abused, like the likes of John Barnes and other players, Cyril Regis even before him, and I'm sure it probably can continue to go on. And if we're seeing our role models getting this abuse purely because they got the same skin colour as us, then it's a problem. Now, let's go back this past week, just this past week alone, in fact the past couple of weeks, most of this conversation has stemmed from the likes of obviously Raheem Sterling getting abuse at Chelsea, whether it be him getting called a mank CUNT or black CUNT, he was getting abused nonetheless. Now, we're thinking it's the latter, but again, I'm sure people will still argue the case on that. Things that are definitely been cut and dry in terms of racism. You've got the Mo Salah incident at West Ham, when he was getting called all sorts of names in the stand, and you've got the Millwall incident when they're chanting, I'd rather be a P word than a scouse. Then obviously you've got another Raheem Sterling incident when he's playing for England. So again, this does fall into FA territory, not just Premier League territory. And obviously he's getting monkey noise chants as well as Danny Rose. And the best way to celebrate is to give it back to them. Not racially give it back to them, but to say, look, I've got the better of you because I've gone and scored for my country. Danny Rose has recently come out and said, look, I can't wait to finish playing football. Something that he's been playing the majority of his life, the thing that he's been working so hard for, the thing that he feeds his family with, and he's so passionate about. We can't wait to get out of the game. Why? Because the amount of abuse that he's been suffering, playing abroad for England, probably playing in England as well, and he can't wait to get out of the game. There's something going on, there's something wrong here. If a Premier League footballer who's dreamed to play Premier League football, played football professionally for the whole of his life, can't wait to get out of the game, we've got a problem here. Where else are we? Then we go to the media. Now, there's a clip circulating online. You can see for yourself. I don't want to give them too much hype, but it's on Sky. It's on the debate, and you've got Gordon Strachan trying to compare. I think the debate was Adam Johnson, should he get a second chance? A convicted sex offender. You're comparing the abuse that he will get when he comes out onto the pitch, the boos and all the rest of it. And I believe rightfully so if you're doing something like that. Sorry, but it's come to the territory. You chose to do that. We didn't choose to come out like this. We didn't choose to come out black. We're born black, and we're getting abused just because of that. You're going to compare the two. Does that make sense to you? So when we've got people like that trying to back us or trying to debate the situation, sorry, but nah, there's your problem. You know, there's also a problem when the money men, the people in charge don't really want to do anything proper. Now, I've seen the campaigns, I've seen the t-shirts worn before the game, not working. I've seen the armbands worn during the game, not working. I've seen the Premier League ads or the advertisement not working. I mean, look at Sterling's face. He probably doesn't even want to be there. He's probably thinking, what, I'm suffering all this abuse in Montenegro for you to put together an ad where I say 2 lines. What's that going to do? Is that going to stop flipping Dave back in the stands thinking, you know what, I'm going to lay off these black players because, you know, Sterling said 2 words in an advert, well put together, well produced. I'm going to stop all my racial abuse now. I've been doing it for years. Of course not. Come on now. Now, the 3 suggestions that I believe is A, dot points, B, stadium ban, and the third one, which is coming very, very soon, mark my words, it's going to be a walk-off. Now, all of them is something that I don't believe I've seen before in the Premier League game, and why not? Why not? Now, the counter argument is, what about the 99.9% fans that are not racist, whether they're white, black or Asian? I get that, but sorry, we all got to suffer in this for us to move forward, because all the other things have not been working. So I don't care about your £30 ticket, I don't care about your £1,000 season ticket at the moment, because this is bigger than that. Those are all replenishable. Do you know what I mean? The fact that racist people are out there week in, week out, are abusing our players, are abusing your favourite player, that's not replenishable. Do you know what I mean? That happens, and we talk about it, we say it's out of order for a couple of weeks, and then we move on. And then the next incident happens, and then that happens. So it's a never-ending cycle. So that, compared to losing some money you'll get back. The game you'll get back. But this, no, it's bigger than that. So sorry, that argument's null and void for me. I want to see affirmative action, proper action, so I can go to a game, you can go to a game without hearing that abuse. It's bad enough the ref getting it for wrong decisions, but someone getting abused for the colour of their skin, something that they can't help, something that they're proud of being, nah, sorry, not for me. So, here's the thing. The reason why I just put together this video is just because I think something needs to be done more than what's been done now. Now, I'm part of media in terms of collective of people, and there's things going on behind the scenes in terms of talk and all the rest of it, but sometimes I think talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, and things needs to happen more prominently as well. Because again, we could go into other areas of things that is lack of representation, all the rest of it, but I'll save that for another video altogether. But in terms of racism in football, I think there's 3 areas, like I just covered, that haven't been fully explored yet, and the reason being is because there's too much money at stake. Yes, you'll lose money from people not being in the stands if there's a stadium ban. Yes, you'll lose money or bad PR if players walk off the pitch, which I think needs to happen, or at least until that person or that group of fans are escorted out of the stadium. And of course, yes, you'll lose money if your team is deducted points. But all in all, if you're not getting your ish together, let's say, then things need to happen. Things need to happen pronto, because this has been going on yonder year, like in my parents' era. And again, I don't want it to go further forward than this. It doesn't need to go further forward than this. Yes, there'll still be racist people out there, but if they know that there's a fine, a heavy fine or a heavy penalty for abusing us as people, not just one player, because you abuse all of us, by the way, then things need to happen. Things need to happen right now. And I guarantee all of that stuff will die down. At least that will be taken away from football. Society is a bigger issue. That's for your Theresa Mays and all the rest of it, your police force and all the rest of it to sort out. But at least in a confined area on a football pitch, hopefully we can put that to bed at least. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it, because at the moment, it's not only happening here, it's happening abroad in Italy. Bless him, Kean, getting abuse by Cagliari fans, goes and scores, gives it the big one to them. Of course he's going to do that, just like Sterling did. And his captain, role model, Bonucci, comes out after the game and says, you're 50-50 part to blame. Now, people might say he's lost in translation, but he tried to, you know, paper over the craps after that. Sorry, but job's done. You already said your piece and you said it incorrectly. and you didn't back your man. Because imagine if the same situation happened obviously in Montenegro, and imagine Harry Kane coming out to say to Sterling, sorry Sterling, you're partly to blame for getting the monkey noises during that Montenegro game. MBE, gone, or OBE, whatever he's got, gone. Reputation, gone, finished. Not that he would say that, I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. So I'm just comparing the two. So, I think enough of the talking. I think enough of us trying to be sympathetic to everyone, because I think we just all need to feel it, because at the moment, the only people who are suffering is us. And if you need to hit other people in their pocket for them to feel it financially, because they're not going to be hit in terms of their skin colour, because I've never seen black players go to white players and offend them racially on the pitch yet, or to my knowledge. The only way to hit them is financially. And I'm sorry, if we all got to suffer for a couple of games, then so be it. So that might send a message for them not to do it, because at the moment there's no fear of people doing it. So yeah, anyway, that's it from me. Hopefully I don't have to do any more of these, but I just felt like I needed to rant and say my thing on this matter, because I've been going to too many of these conferences, too many of these events, and hearing the same thing about how it's bad, but there's nothing happening at the moment. There's no solutions. I'm seeing key spokespeople, I'm seeing ex-players talk about it, and they know it's bad, but the people that hold all the power are not doing anything about it, because everything that's previously working is not working, or previously think that it was working, it's not working. It's like one man said, I think if you expect different things from doing the same methods, that's insanity or something along those lines, then maybe we're all insane, because we're expecting different outcomes to happen from the same things that we're doing over and over again, and it's not working clearly, because it's just happened recently in Italy. It's just recently happened in obviously Montenegro, and we want to stop it from happening again in a week's time, or even today during the 3 o'clock kickoffs. So there you have it.